Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday, January 22nd. I went to bed last night after spending a good bit of the day looking at the news because the news was so good. And again this morning. But although the news is good, of course, Donald Trump and his agenda are being opposed by criminals. We're surrounded by criminals, we're governed by criminals, we're fed information by criminals. And of course, these people are fighting for their lives, so of course they're going to fight. But it's making me angry. The majority of the country voted for Donald Trump and his agenda. And these unrighteous criminals are fighting against him. And I was angry, and I woke up angry. So as is my habit, first thing I do is open the Bible to the Psalms, and it's really amazing to me that no matter what kind of if I have any concerns whatsoever, God seems to answer me immediately through the Psalms. So I read Psalm 112, and among other things it says, speaking of the righteous person, he is not afraid of bad news. His heart is firm, trusting in the Lord. His heart is steady. He will not be afraid until he looks in triumph on his enemies. The Psalms are full of messages just like this. The last verse of the Psalm says that the desire of the wicked will perish. But these promises are conditional. You have to look at the whole Psalm. It requires the people turning to God and behaving in a godly way. I don't know if you know this or not, but the only reason Donald Trump is in office is because of the hand of God. The election was not supposed to go as smoothly as it did, but by 10 o'clock the night of the election, we knew that we had won. January 6th was not even supposed to happen, and that went smoothly. It came off without a hitch. The inauguration was not supposed to happen, but it did. It came off without a hitch once again. If it weren't for the hand of God, Donald Trump would not even be alive today. And why has God chosen to bless us? It's because there are enough people in this country who honor God, who turn to God, who have prayed to God, who have cried out to God for justice, and God has answered that prayer. My plea today is that all those who desire justice would turn to God and behave in a godly way and cry out and begin to trust God, because he is absolutely trustworthy and he loves justice and he loves righteousness. We have to do justice. We have to do righteousness. The more righteous a nation is, the more it can count on the blessings of God. The more God will bless that nation. So if you're upset, as I was, about all these people standing in our way, standing in the way of what's right, my suggestion is to turn to God. Cry out to him. Begin to behave in a godly way. I think it was John Adams who said that the Constitution, which our fathers gave us, was meant only for a moral people. It is totally unsuited to the governance of any other. We've lost rights because we haven't been a righteous nation, and the people of this nation have not behaved righteously. But that's changing. It's partly changing because ordinary people have seen the depth of the evil that's all around them, and as a result, they've turned to God. My prayer is that more of us would turn to God, more of us would behave in a godly way, and more of us would cry out to the only source that can save this nation. Because we're not out of the woods yet, and we have to keep on. We have to keep up the fight. And the way to keep up the fight is to do godly things and to cry out to God, speak against evil, stand in the way in a righteous way, not in a vindictive or violent way, against those who would oppose what we want for this nation. Thank you for listening. I hope you heard my words well.